So yesterday I was in the Melee player Junebug's stream as he was doing a Melee Iron Man. By the way, I'm still doing my Iron Mans on stream whenever I stream Smash Ultimate, by the way. So he used a certain move of a certain character that isn't often seen, and I thought, man, that's one of the best sounds in Smash history. And as someone that has played every Smash game but one competitively, and that was 64, I really thought about it, and I was like, I definitely have a good list of favorite sounds in Smash. So I got a list of my 14 favorite sounds. These were the ones, in my opinion, that were a cut above the rest. Some because they're cool, some because they're a little bit nostalgic, and some just the sound design is A1, is peak, right? And so I want to talk about what my favorite sounds were. If you have a favorite sound, let me know down in the comments down below. And while you're down there, of course, don't forget to subscribe. I would appreciate it. But yeah, let's get into it. As a quick note, this is only going to be sounds from characters in their competitive moveset, so like no final smashes, no like picking up item sounds or anything like that. So it's just going to be like their movements, their moves, things like that, and also no like actual voice lines. Voice acting doesn't matter in this one. I didn't order them in terms of what my favorites are, I just did it chronologically because it was easier to think of the sounds that way because I could look at all the different characters and figure it out from there. And to start it off with the Smash 64 sounds, I have two of them from that game. The first one is just the straight up getting hit sound by like the slightly weaker moves. The little pong is so perfect. Like, I don't know what it is about the sound, but it just sounds so good. In my opinion, this specific one, the little pong, is just slightly better than all the other hit sounds, which are still good. Like, they are good sounds, but I just find like the little like pong is just, it's so peak, and it is just the, to me, emblematic of Smash 64, and of course that's where all of it started. And my second favorite sound from that game, and by second favorite I mean my second sound that is my favorite, is just the Ness jump sound. It is really good. I couldn't find a clean audio of this, so you're gonna have to have it with background music, but again, it's just my favorite version of this sound. Like, it sounds so mystical and fun, and like, it just reminds me the most of Earthbound. Like, it sounds more like something from that era because obviously it's like a little bit older, and even though the newer ones are cleaner and still sound good, to me this is just like the sound that I associate with Ness's double jump. I have three favorite sounds in Melee, the first one being the most obvious, probably the most iconic Smash sound to exist, period, and that is Shine. You can't really argue with it. It's such a clean sound. It's one of those that even if you have a lot of issue because you remember getting bullied by all those Fox and Falco players, it's still just so good that like it's the cleanest thing. It's just perfect. It is a perfect sound. Second is probably just a little bit of my bias here, but I personally love the way Samus sounds when she jumps. Not her double jump, not her like little thing, but just her full hop and short hop in Melee, which is what you hear when she wave dashes. It is so funny. Why is she almost quacking like a duck? I love that sound. I think that it does make sense for like a mechanical type of thing. Obviously, Samus has a person inside of it, like inside the suit, but I think that a suit like that would sound kind of mechanical in those instances when you especially like are activating a bunch of its legs and stuff. So I personally really like it. It's really funny, and you just got to go womp womp womp, because again, she doesn't really dash dance that much because she's more mobile as a wave dash character, so you hear this one a lot. And the sound that I was talking about in the intro is probably one of the cleanest sounds of the entire video, and that is Bowser Upbeat. The little whirling fortress, the sound is so good. It sounds like a razor, it sounds like it's cutting something up, which that move is really good in Melee. It's one of the best upbeats out of shield in the game. Like, I personally, at least the ground version, I would prefer that to Samus's, and Samus is like the other use upbeat a lot out of shield character. Bowser's is so good, it's just attached to Bowser, so you never really see it, but God, is it a good sound. Going on to Super Smash Bros. Brawl, the first one's going to be a little bit weird, and I say that because this character has the weirdest final smash, even though this is not the final smash noise, and that is going to be Luigi's Brawl Tornado. Something about the sound of it going like brrrk is just, it sounds so good. It something like tickles my brain about it, and even though I have no attachment to Luigi in that game, I never really played him even casually, or I guess not casually, but like even as like a potential secondary ever. There were only a couple of competitive Luigi, so you didn't hear it very often, but man, is that sound so good. I feel like maybe Smash 4 Luigi would have been here, but like the on-hit sound is so ruthless because they're technically all spikes. Plus, I remember getting spiked by that move at really early percents, and I played Pikachu and I still died to that thing, so yeah, less of a fan of it. And even though this move was one of the most traumatic to deal with in the game, Brawl Meta Knight Shuttle Loop, in the air specifically, not the ground one where it goes, huh, and then it's like, but the air one is just, it's like, it makes you feel like exactly what it does, that a plane is hitting you at 500 miles an hour and you are going to die at 40% because you're trying to DI a way to avoid it in the first place. Like, it's so perfect. It's just so clean. It makes it really feel as strong as it is, which, by the way, that's still like the second or third best move in Smash history, by the way. It's just so good, and the sound is like part of the reason it is just so perfect. It's such a cool and iconic move, and you know, even though from a balance perspective I'm glad they changed it, I'm not glad they changed the sound. Moving on to Smash 4, we have, I think, 3 sounds. I forgot to say how many was in Brawl, but that was just 2. In Smash 4, we have 3 sounds. The first one being the Levin Fair snap sound, like just when it comes out, not the voice that Robin has, but just like the... Again, just sounds clean. The thought of an electric sword, I feel like they did a really good job of combining how a sword would sound swinging it plus electricity, and it really has a lot of oomph, and that move is really strong and really good, especially once it got buffed. So it just feels as satisfying as the move is to hit, or it sounds as satisfying as it is to feel like, you know what I'm saying. Next up is the bouncing fish noise, just the startup of it, the bing. It's just, again, really good. It's like a little bit of noise, but you, of course, like in terms of in the game, you can react to it based on the sound. But just in terms of like what it is, it's a ninja floating in the air, and it's just a little like ding, and it's kind of like she's bouncing off like a tight wire, or like a wire that's like stuck on a tree or something, and it just sounds so good. The move is crazy. Don't know why they added it in the game. She did not need or deserve a better recovery, but it is a damn cool sound. Next up is Charizard Flare Blitz. Charizard was a solo character in this game, and I just think Flare Blitz just sounds so cool. It has a lot of the impact of this move. This one does include the sound clip or the voice clip of Charizard as well, technically, but it just sounds so sick, right? It sounds like almost like a space pirate from Metroid Prime dying, like the whoa type of thing, with, of course, just like flying and fire, and it's just a good sound. Like, I wish Charizard was better. I mean, when I played Charizard in Ultimate, when I played him in 4 sometimes, I would spam this move because it's just so satisfying to hit. And part of that reason it's so satisfying to hit is because the sound is perfect. And lastly, for Smash 4, this one's going to be, again, maybe a personal bit of bias, but I really liked how Samus's charge shot sounded when you were charging it up. The amount of energy that you kind of can take in, the pitch of it was just, in my opinion, really good. And, you know, in that game, Samus wanted full charge shot. It was not like the same thing as it was in Ultimate, where she gets to combo off it super hard. She was just a hardcore zoner character with a broken ass dash attack. But I really like this sound. Like, listen to the electricity, the energy of it, and it just absorbs in such a satisfying way. I think that is the best charging sound of Charge Shot. Melee is pretty close. I think 64's is pretty bad, and I think Brawl's is just a worse version of Smash 4's. So yeah, Smash 4 is my favorite Charge Shot sound. And now we get into Smash Ultimate, which I do believe has 4 amazing sounds. I think one of them a lot of people are going to disagree on, and that is just straight up Banjo's downbeat, the little pop that the downbeat comes out. It just reminds me of like opening a really satisfying can, or not a can rather, but like a jar, just like when you get that perfect little thunk. Like, it's just perfect. I love that sound. It's unfortunate that it's tied to such a frustrating move for a lot of people, but I do think the sound design of it is so good. Next is just an overall sound for the game that many characters have, and that is the Smash Ultimate spike sound. Both the on-stage spike and the off-stage spike, the little pew, it's just sick. I don't think there was a sound for spikes in the other games. I could be wrong about that. Then maybe there was in Smash 4, but I feel like in Ultimate it's much more pronounced, and spikes, of course, are extra deadly because of the way the blast zone works. So it's a really interesting sound that I feel like just adds a lot more oomph to spikes, because in a lot of the other games they didn't really have that. Like, especially in Melee, where spikes are super common and like deadly. there wasn't really a different sound to them, so you just had to feel it based on the context of the move. But in Ultimate, you really feel it because of the sound of the spike. Like for Pika and Pichu Thunder, for down airs, for, you know, especially like DK forward air is one that I can really think of that has that. And it actually leads to my other one, which is a spike, which is K. Rool back air. The spike is part of the reason why this sounds so good, but also the voice line of the K. Rool going the Kyung, and then the sound of the actual hitting of the move. Like, it has such a bright hit sound. It just, listen. I'm a huge fan of how it sounds. Of course, the impact of that move is great, which kind of the sound leads to that, right? Because there are plenty of moves that don't sound like they're super strong, like a lot of Ike moves, especially in Smash 4. Ike moves felt really flaccid, and because of that, people didn't really understand how strong some of Ike's moves were because it didn't match the impact of the move. But K. Rool Bear, it matches the impact of hell because that move is so strong. And lastly, one of the best sounds, but maybe not if you are neutral get-upping at ledge, and that is going to be Roy's Sweet Spot Jab. A lot of Roy's moves have a really good sound in this game, especially the sweet spots. I think they did a really good job with the sword moves in general in this game, but Roy's jab is kind of the pinnacle of that. It really just feels like a layup hit. It feels like something that literally is going to be a combo move, but it still has that like nice meaty sound of you got hit by something you really shouldn't have. It just, again, it scratches an itch in my brain. I love it. It is so good. And yeah, that's going to be about it for this one. I hope you all enjoyed. Again, if you did not already, let me know down in the comments what your favorite moves are. If you agree with my list or not. I know I have a couple weird choices. I don't think people care about the Samus sounds very much, but I really like them, and Samus is one of my favorite video game characters of all time, so I'm a little bit biased there. But yeah, as always, social media and partner stuff is down below, and I will see you all next time. Peace.